early enough to watch that opening band, at some point they are going to be that main event person that you pay that extra money for. So I think the same thing is true for the independent scene.
Right. And I really enjoy seeing people making it in the business like that I have. Like I remember back in the day, I didn't really get to work with her, Serena, but we're friends through motion capture and through just, seeing each other through passing. And I just remember her saying, gosh, doing everything I can. I just feel like I'm going anywhere. And I said, you know what? Just keep what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. And we're standing outside of the DoubleTree in Culver City, California. And I don't know if she remembers this, but I told her, I said, if you just keep doing what you're doing and don't give up, you will make it. You will have your turn. And lo and behold, she got her head shaved.
Yeah, look at her now. Like, she's absolutely one of the best. Former NWA Women's Champion, was part of the Sobriety Society, or yeah. I mean, that's just to name a few of the things she's done, and she's not even done yet. So, yeah, you nailed it. She definitely made it, and I hope she does remember that.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, watching these people come up, a lot of people don't know how old I am, but I'm not going to say it either. But I remember, who is it? Austin Theory. As a little boy. Yeah. I remember he was a little boy at our shows, like running around as a fan, and just looking at, remembering his face, the little boy running around Deep South. And then I went to a show down in Georgia somewhere, down south, at a biker show. And I remember being in the locker room, and this guy came in and was walking around, and he said hi to everybody, and someone said, oh, yeah, Austin's there. And I remember his name from being a little boy. And when I saw him in the locker room and he shook my hand, my mouth just dropped, and I was like, oh my God. Because he wasn't a little boy anymore. He looked the way he looks now on television. And I just remember I just said, do you know who I am? And he goes, yeah. It's like, God, I'm having a moment right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And he was just like, he was like, you're fine. And he was laughing, and I said, I've never felt so old. Like, I've never felt my age. Okay? And he was just laughing, and it was funny. But, yeah, it's just awesome seeing these people come up and, going off to do what their dream was. Because, I mean, this was his dream. And I don't know. I hear different sides of the story, like people like him, people don't like him, whatever. But from just watching his journey is just amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember seeing him the first time. I think it was WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. I think it was it had to be 34. Yeah, 34. And he was wrestling in an Evolve show. And I was like, I don't know who this kid is, but he looks like $1 million. And sure enough, he was later on, the Evolve show that was on the WWE Network. And I was like, okay, this dude, without a doubt, is even better than he was last time I saw him. And he looks somehow even better than the last time I saw him. And, I can understand where it might have that misconception of people do and don't like him. But, I mean, not everybody liked Shawn Michaels back in the day. I mean, not everybody likes, actually, a lot of people don't like John Cena too. So, it's one of those things where, even Bill DeMott, like we talked earlier, not everybody likes him. So not everybody's going to like everybody, but, talent always, the cream rises to the top, as the Macho Man says. So, as long as he's going to keep doing what he's doing, the sky's the limit for him.
Right. And, they were told to, good publicity is just as good as bad publicity. So as long sell tickets and keep people coming back to watch you either win or get your ass kicked. Either one, you know. So it doesn't really matter. If people don't like you, they want to see you get your ass kicked. So they're coming back to see that. And you know, I just feel like as long as you can engage with the crowd and draw them in and make them want to keep watching, then you're doing a great job.
Right. Yeah, like, look at Dominic Mysterio. When he first debuted with his dad, people were like, all right, we'll give him a chance. And then soon enough, it wasn't that they didn't like him to not like him. They didn't like him because they were just bored. They were like, all right, nothing's going on here, whatever. He joins Judgment Day, and he just touches the mic now and instant boos. And and that's general hatred. Like, people don't like him for everything he's done to his dad and everything throughout the whole, you know, quote unquote going to prison and that whole thing. And so, like you said, if you could be polarizing either way, but as long as people are paying to see you either win or get your butt kicked, that's all that matters, because you're making them react and you're making them spend the money to watch you.
Right. Yeah. And I just, you know, keep doing what you're out there on the indies, and people don't like you, like, turn it up so they don't like you.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like The Miz, but he is literally one of the hardest working dudes in that company. So
Right.
Yeah. Now, if people have never seen you wrestle before, what would 3 matches be that people should watch?
Oh boy. Let's see. 3 matches. You know, a lot of my matches didn't even get put on YouTube. And let me just say that I've never put any match on YouTube myself. They just kind of appear, and I go on and I'm like, oh, I've never seen this match. But I want to say Lady Frost versus Tracy Taylor. Oh, yeah. And we were talking about that match. We were up in New Jersey. It was freaking freezing cold. And we were outside. It was an outside show. I don't know if you know what it's like in New Jersey in the winter, but
not pretty.
We're both half naked, you know, outside. And we just said, you know what? We're going to do this. And it was a great match. It turned out to be a really great match. Let me see that one. The one of me in Japan, where is the European Women's Champion. And I had to drop my title to Fuka. That was a good one. And I would have to say a really entertaining one was when I first got released and I did a show in Hawaii against oh my gosh, what was her name? It was when Sun was popular. It was Sun and 01.
Okay.
And it was, oh my God, I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank. But Nakamura was the promoter, and he came to Hawaii with her. And what was her name? I have a poster. Hold on, let me look at the poster. It's hanging up on my wall.
Oh, you actually have the poster. Nice.
Where is she? Hikaru. That's right. Hikaru. Yes. So she was one of the most popular ones when I was in Japan. And it was me versus her versus Nakamura. Well, her and Nakamura versus me. So they double teamed me. And it was a loser cleans the beaches in Hawaii match. So whoever lost had to clean all the beaches, and there's a whole thing on YouTube. You can watch it. It's very entertaining. Where, you know, the loser has to clean all the beaches. And I guess you can guess who lost, but it was funny because it shows them having to clean all the beaches in Hawaii, and they're just like super pissed about it. And then they end up like running away and they don't want to do it. But but I wish that I did have a match recorded me and Asuka, because I did work Asuka when I was in Japan.
What was that like?
Oh my gosh! So okay, when I first wrestled her, there was a lot of hip attacks, and I just remember like working her and taking the hip attack, and then, you know, once I was in Japan and I, you know, was wrestling on the indies and doing it, I totally forgot. And so years went by, and then here comes this awesome Japanese women's wrestler coming on WWE, and I'm watching her, and she was Kana at the time, right?
Right.
And I was watching this girl wrestle, and she was doing her hip attack. And I said, wait a minute, I took that move a lot when I was in Japan. And I was like, wait, that hurt? And so I Googled, and I was like, holy shit, that's her. That's the same girl. I was like, wow, that is awesome.
That's crazy.
So she wasn't really popular back then when I went to Japan. You know, it was Hikaru, it was Aja Kong, which was, mentioning Aja Kong, she was, in one match, she was my tag team partner.
Whoa.
Yes. So they had makeup artists come in and do her face. And I have a picture on my Instagram or Facebook of me and her. But they painted her face. One side was like the Hawaiian flag on her eye. Then she wore one of my pareos that I brought her, a skirt. And we came out as tag team partners, and we did our whole thing. And I was just so freaking relieved that I wasn't going against her. Yeah, I don't have to go against her. I don't get killed tonight. But yeah, that was a fun night.
Man, that's awesome. Now, those are 3 matches people should go see of yours. What are some of your top 5 career highlights?
Okay, so I guess one would be getting hired and debuting on Deep South Wrestling.
Okay.
Being under development, you know, that was a highlight for me. I mean, most people wouldn't see it that way just because, you know, you're still not in the limelight. But for me, like I said, going back to our earlier discussion, anything with me moving up in the business was just so special because I didn't expect any of it. And I just kind of went with the flow, and anything that happened was kind of like, oh, okay, all right, okay, this is where we're going, okay, let's do it, you know. And so every opportunity that I had was a special one. And, you know, the debut on developmental television was a highlight for me. Going to Japan was definitely a highlight for me. I remember calling all my friends and saying, oh my God, you're never going to believe where I'm going. I'm going to Japan. And everybody was super excited for me. It was almost like I was debuting on WWE, you know?
Yeah.
But back then we didn't have social media or, you know, good camera phones like we have now. So it's funny because people will tell me, they're like, "Do you ever think about going here? Do you ever think about, going to Japan?"